little bit strange this morning because there's still a lot of radiation running around in my body. Indeed, after basically 6 years of being beamed at, it's understandable that a lot of the radiation will probably never leave my bloodstream. So I'm probably going to feeling the after effects of the radiation bombardment I've been putting up with for 6 years for a long time. So indeed, I may be feeling like this for the rest of my life. Indeed, the radiation may have caused such severe damage already that I may only have 4 years left to live or so. So, during that 4 years, as long as I stay out of the psychiatric hospital system, I'm going to keep up a constant stream of information. See, this is what's interesting. Last night, I was receiving voice to skull technology beams, basically. They're not the same as radiation beams, these are simply beams that implant thoughts, ideas, and voices into your head. And indeed, last night, the beaming was trying to convince me that I was a British intelligence operative. So it's a new tactic that British intelligence are using. Instead of Samuel Buchan's network pretending to be the GRU and attempting to convince me I'm a GRU agent, Samuel Buchan's network, operating from a United Grand Lodge of England black site somewhere in Wiltshire, are now attempting to convince me that I'm a British intelligence operative. So attempting to basically spin everything around again, which is all very strange. Indeed, I don't really know what this achieves, but this is the thing. British intelligence are on board with the Illuminati agenda, i.e. the creation of a technocracy, utilizing environmentalist tendencies also. It's very interesting to consider that the technocracy have planned an entire counterculture to go along with the mainstream culture that they intend to implement. Indeed, a lot of this has to do with the altruistic rationalism movement and such networks as the Zizians. So it's all very interesting what they're trying to create. Indeed, a lot of these radical environmentalists and vegan networks are transhumanist networks, and they're a part of the Illuminati technocratic agenda. Indeed, these networks are basically eco-fascist, despite claiming anarchist labels. So it's all very interesting how these networks that are sprouting up across America and Britain are interconnected with such networks as the national anarchist movement ideologies. So it's all interesting how this all links up. Indeed, these networks are rooted in English eco-fascism, basically, which is all very interesting to note. And it's all very interesting how a lot of these networks seem to connect to Palantir and the individual Peter Thiel. So it's all very interesting to consider. This guy is a key Germanic Mason and obviously a Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operative. So it's interesting that the technocrats are attempting to create a counterculture of their own to ease the population into a technocracy, basically, which will involve a global government system based on regional economic areas, basically. It's all very interesting to consider what the Illuminists are attempting to achieve. It is interesting to note that the conflict between Nazis and Zionists is a false conflict. Indeed, the British and German networks of Druidic priesthoods that are now represented by Masonic networks have always been very close to the Zionist elite. Ever since the 900 AD sort of period, the Anglo-German networks of Druids and Masons have always been close to the Zionist elite because they practice these same ritual child sacrifice rituals. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the neo-Nazi Satanist networks that are all popping up now, and accelerationist networks, i.e. such networks as the Order of Nine Angles, the Maniac Murder Cult in the post-Soviet nations, and the Nordic Resistance Movement. All of these networks are basically coordinated by policemen and overseen by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. All of these networks are basically for the erection of a police state and are basically another countercultural movement that the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst run Illuminists are creating as a kind of false opposition to the state, if that makes any sense. Indeed, these networks, such as Order of Nine Angles, are all working for the police state, just as the Zizians were basically a false flag operation, and these networks were also all working for the police state. So it's all very interesting. The rationalist networks are very similar to a Mensa style organization, and Mensa has always been linked to eugenics. It's very interesting. The altruistic rationalist movement is basically a eugenicist network. Indeed, as stated, these networks are directly interconnected with transhumanist networks, and transhumanist networks are based in eugenics also. So it's very interesting to note. Indeed, the term transhumanism was coined by a prominent eugenicist, Julian Huxley of British intelligence. So it's all very interesting to note. He was the brother of Aldous Huxley, a key British intelligence operative who was uniquely positioned as a forerunner of the 1960s counterculture that developed, which was itself a branch of Illuminism. So it's all very interesting to consider there is going to be a creation of a new counterculture in the late 2020s, early 2030s, that will be based on a pagan mythos, interlinked with transhumanism. And this will basically help the erection of a police state, especially here in the United Kingdom. Indeed, we're going to see lots of currents, rather strange networks of people, various millenarian networks, not Christians, but sort of like pagan millenarian networks. And indeed, there probably will be some very strange radical Christian sects as well, but all of these sects will be funded by the intelligence services. The intelligence services will be running the whole counterculture that is going to be created. Indeed, all of these networks will claim to be against technology, but will actually be working for the Illuminati's technocracy. So it's all very interesting. The Illuminists control the radical environmentalist network, just as they control the individualist anarchist networks and the collectivist anarchist networks. Indeed, anarchism is coordinated by the Illuminists. So it's very interesting to note the people that claim to be against the state are actually operating as agent provocateurs for the police state. Indeed, the majority of anarchists in Wiltshire hate me. So it's all very interesting to consider the anarchists in Wiltshire are actually operative for the police state. They are part of Illuminist covens. Indeed, this is evident with such networks as Antifa, which is an occult secret society operative for the police state and to basically I just lost my train of thought. And to basically help certain post-communist networks with their trafficking rings. Basically, it's very strange. The Antifa networks distract the police, while the post-communist mafiosi continue their trafficking operations, and it is all very strange. The Antifa networks are networks of occult sorcerers, operative for the police state. It's that simple, really. The majority of anarchists in the United Kingdom are actually working for the police state. Indeed, the National Anarchist Movement is a fascist network, a pro-environmentalist network, which is controlled by networks of Illuminists. Indeed, Troy Southgate is an illuminist. So it's very interesting to consider indeed his focus on Kabbalah and Satanism is enough proof that Troy Southgate is an illuminist. Indeed, his sidekick, Adam Orms, is a ritual child abuser operative for 764. Indeed, this network 764 are a serious danger to the population as a whole. Not only children, indeed, these guys are sick. They are really disgusting individuals. Now, I am mentally ill, but I'm not sick in the way that, for instance, a 764 operative is. I'm an innocent, I'm a very sweet man, a very gentle man. I may have some dangerous moments, but I am not sick in the way that 764 are. 764 as people are much more similar to the Freemasons than they are to someone like me. Indeed, I am one of society's innocents. This is what's interesting. You can tell a lot about a person by their facial features. And these guys in 764 just look disgusting. You can see how disgusting they are. For instance, Cass Lynch of Calm. You can tell how disgusting he is as a person. You can tell he's a pederast and kiddie torturer by his facial features, which is all very interesting to consider. Indeed, 764 are operative in Calm devises. And Warminster, I believe there are 48 764 operatives in Warminster. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, these satanic networks watch all of my YouTube content because they are obsessed with me. Indeed, many operatives of 764 seem to want to have sex with me, which is all rather disturbing. Indeed, they are not only pederasts and kiddie torturers, but they are also wanting to engage in sodomy with another man. So it says a lot about these people. Indeed, it's all very interesting to note. Indeed, I am very distrustful of homosexual men because of terrible experiences in my life. This is the thing. Indeed, I'm not entirely sure what my theories are on politics anymore. I don't believe in the state, but I also don't subscribe to the ideas of the anarchists. Indeed, all of the anarchist networks, all throughout the last few hundred years, have been coordinated by the Illuminists, just as have the communists. Indeed, the Illuminists, the anarchists and the communists are actually working for a fascist state, which is all very interesting how this all works out. Indeed, the pro-environmentalist networks and the hippies are all working for a fascist state as well. So it's very strange how it turns out. Indeed, the McAllister family of Calm are absolute fascists hiding behind a spiritual mask. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I seem to be engaged in a war with the population of Wiltshire. Indeed, I seem to be at war with about at least 48% of the county. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, they're getting more and more angry with me because I'm exposing so many different networks that basically large percentages of the county are implicated in what I'm talking about. So it's all very interesting indeed. This is the thing. I'm just a mental patient. And to be honest with you, no one's ever actually going to believe anything I say. So I don't understand why everybody's getting so angry about what I'm saying and getting so insulted by a mental patient. The only reason I believe they're getting so angry is because what I'm saying is true. This is the thing. They keep saying no one will believe him. He's a mental patient. But the thing is, they're all getting so angry. It makes you think it is true indeed. I once made an accusation that Josh Dowse rapes his sister. And he attacked me with his friends so savagely, it proved I was telling the truth. Josh Douse did rape his sister when she was young, up until recently, and she's been scared into silence, and therefore will never come forward because she's so scared of him. But you can tell by his facial features a lot about him. Indeed, he looks like a cannibal. So it's very interesting indeed. Josh Douse is probably operative for the 764 Ritual Child Abuse Network, operating out of Kingswood in Bristol. Indeed, Kingswood in Bristol is a hub for 764 operations that then branch out into Wiltshire, coordinated by Wiltshire Police Headquarters in Devizes, and the Warminster Military Intelligence Setup at Warminster Military Base. These satanic covens are all over the country. Indeed, they are coming into prominence now, what with the Illuminist New World Order coming into the fore. And indeed, these neo-Nazi Satanist networks will form one aspect of the counterculture that is going to be formed in the United Kingdom. And the pro-environmentalists, transgender, hippie, transhumanist types will form another element of the counterculture in communion with the altruistic rationalists, etc. Indeed, these people are all working for the police state, which is very interesting indeed. The majority of them are agent provocateurs, and they manipulate a lot of innocent people into their networks. So it's best to be aware of the creation of a new counterculture. Indeed, the counterculture in the 60s was simply to drag people away from actual anti-police state activism by basically filling them full of psychedelics and basically manipulating people into occult tendencies. So it's interesting to note that the hippie movement actually came out of fascist traditions, Nazi traditions specifically in terms of the overall fascist ideology. The hippie movement came out of Nazi traditions, so it's all very interesting to consider. I've also explained that a lot of British hippie women are heavily involved in the organ and cannibal meat trades. It's all very interesting. I'm stuck in a county where large percentages of the people are involved in the organ harvesting, organ trafficking, and cannibal meat production trades. So you can forgive me for being a little bit scared of the population around me. Indeed, it's all very interesting to note what is going on. Indeed, I've been making my way through a book by Recluse about the Zizians, etc., and I must say it's an incredible text. Though I wish he'd draw some more of his own conclusions. That's the problem I always had with his blog. He never really drew proper conclusions, but it's all very interesting. I think he's a great researcher. And he's made an incredible point about the fact that the Zizians and networks of altruistic rationalists, etc., are part of the creation by the technocracy of a new counterculture to soften up people's minds for the introduction of what he terms the technate. So it's all very interesting. Like, he's on the right path, though he never links these networks to the Bavarian Illuminists and doesn't mention the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst or the Freemasons very often. He talks about the Catholic far right, but as I've stated, the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst and Royal Archmasons coordinate the Catholic far right now. So it's all very interesting. The Teutonic Zionist networks coordinate the Catholic far right. So it's all very interesting indeed. I'll continue to read his theories and build on his theories, but I believe I'm progressively finding a further trajectory than what he's building on. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. I believe seminal reading is the original Robeson text to really begin to get an idea of these German Masonic lodges. However, Robeson does not interconnect them with the Royal Arch in Britain, etc. However, I have done this, so it's all very interesting to consider the British Freemasons have never been an innocent network. Indeed, this is because of interconnectivity between British and German Freemasonry through networks of druids of British and German heritage who operate in communion with the Zionist elite and various other networks, including Ismaili assassins and their associated networks. Indeed, so all Faith of Ishmael terrorism is coordinated by the Anglo-German Druidic cryptocracy and the Zionist elite. So it's all very interesting to note how all of these influences converge. And within that mixture, we have the Illuminists and their main intelligence front, i.e. the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, which also incorporates another important network I've been speaking about, the Asiatic Brethren, and also such networks as the elect Cohens. And elect Cohens are mass sacrifices of children ritually, so it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, it's already quite scary. Indeed, the hippie extremists are also engaged in cannibalism and ritual sacrifice, so it's all very interesting to consider. These people that claim to be spiritual are actually demonic, so it's all very interesting to note the proliferation of a new counterculture in view of the implementation of an outright police state, which is being erected to protect such networks as Devises Police from reprisal by the population, and the implementation of a technocracy, which will basically supersede the police state, but run in accordance with it, if that makes any sense. Indeed, this is the introduction of INGSOC, i.e. English Socialism, which will be of a national socialistic basis. Indeed, the far right are also heavily involved in this agenda, as are the far left. Indeed, the dialectic is being created on purpose. But it's interesting to note that the hippies on the far left are just as fascist as the Nazis on the far right. So it's all very interesting to note. Indeed, it's common knowledge that I don't like hippies. There are reasons why. So it's all very interesting to note exactly what is going on. Indeed. I'm going to leave it there now. Thank you.